Well, the lying legacy media strikes again. Are they really this stupid? Or are they really this dishonest, hoping that you're really this stupid?
Let's get ready to rumble! You can't handle the truth. Awesome, baby, to the top of the line.
Hi, I'm Pastor Marty. This is the Afternoon Drive. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Once you are, smack the bell, click the word all. That'll give you a notification of my rants, my ravings, and my undeniably flawless reasonings. Hey, once you've done all that, please like and share this video. That's the only way we can get the word out that we're here. So put a link to this video on your social media platforms, and thank you for being a part of the Afternoon Drive. So Donald Trump gave a speech on Saturday in Ohio, and Trump derangement syndrome took over the lying legacy media, and this is how they analyzed what he had to say.
When you heard the full context, when you saw those comments at that rally, what did you hear?
Well, thank you, Jen, for having me. I mean, what I heard was a continuation of the same rhetoric, the same endorsement of political violence that we've seen from Donald Trump for years.
He's even predicting a bloodbath. What does that mean? He's going to exact a bloodbath? There's something wrong here. How respectful I am of the American people and their goodness. But how much more do they have to see from him to understand that this isn't what our country is about?
Notice how they didn't actually play a clip of him saying it. And when they do play the clip, it is so edited down. Let's play Donald Trump in context and then show you how they played and manipulated it.
You know, Mexico has taken over a period of 30 years, 34% of the automobile manufacturing business in our country. Think of it, went to Mexico. China now is building a couple of massive plants where they're going to build the cars in Mexico and they think that they're going to sell those cars into the United States with no tax at the border. Let me tell you something to China. If you're listening, President Xi, and you and I are friends, but he understands the way I deal, those big monster car manufacturing plants that you're building in Mexico right now, and you think you're going to get that, you're going to not hire Americans, and you're going to sell the cars to us. Now, we're going to put a 100% tariff on every single car that comes across the line, and you're not going to be able to sell those cars. If I get elected, now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole, that's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That'll be the least of it.
There it is in its full context. Now let's see what the lying legacy corporate corrupt mainstream media did to it.
Now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole, that's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That'll be the least of it.
So the ship libs at PMS, NBC, and CNN, following the Mockingbird talking points handed out to them by the CIA, all kept saying over and over, Donald Trump is saying, if he doesn't get elected, there'll be a bloodbath in the streets. We'll see anarchy worse than January 6th. When are they going to do something about this guy? This hyperbolic mass hysteria that even Nancy Botox Pelosi talking about, I want to think the best of the American people, but why do they keep listening and following this man? Because the American people have wised up and realized that loons like you are the problem. You're the fascists, not him. You're the liars, not him. You're the problem. He's the solution. That's why the American people love him.
And here's the campaign the Democrats need to run, and I've been thinking about this a lot. There are four people that need to step forward: Kelly, Mattis, McMaster, and Milley. And there needs to be a general campaign where these generals who have worked with him need to turn to the American public and turn to camera and say, you don't understand how scary this can be. we really can go over a cliff here. These people, patriots, need to start to stand up because that's what America listens to. I think if you do the right campaign with those four guys and you continue to put the message out, you're going to lose control of your bodies. Women, immigration, it will even get worse as it did the first time with Donald Trump. Our democracy is really, really, really online here. And our way of life will change. Get people, scare the shit out of people.
Now, I know you don't need me to explain this to you, but in its context, what Donald Trump was saying was pretty simple. If you let Joe Biden win re-election, or I'll put in there Gavin Newsom, Whitmer out of Michigan, whoever they ultimately run as the president when they finally have had enough of old Joe and swap him out sometime this summer. What he's saying is China building auto factories in Mexico and then going to ship all those cars in for free to the U.S., it will create a bloodbath within the auto industry. You auto workers, especially you union auto workers, you do know that your union bosses have sold you out, right? You do know they don't give a flying flip about the guy on the actual assembly line. They care about themselves and their political power and their money. And the Democrats, i.e. Obama Biden, give them access, stroke their egos, and give them money. And they keep selling you down the river. Don't think for a moment that Joe Biden is an old school Democrat looking out for the working man. Look what he did to the railroad workers. He absolutely annihilated and crushed them. Kind of takes you back to when the government sided with Pullman and crushed the railroad workers, trying to unionize and have better, safer standards. So Joe Biden is no friend to labor, and forcing and putting these arbitrary dates on auto manufacturers to completely switch over to electric, while places like China are going to manufacture gas cars cheap and flood the U.S. market with them, and people will buy them because people are dictated to by their pocketbook. And there are literally millions of people in this country that either work directly or indirectly for the auto industry. And to let China just flood our market with cheap cars, not even building any factories here to employ any of our people, would be a bloodbath to an entire American industry. That is the full context of what Donald Trump was saying. Will the lying legacy corporate corrupt mainstream media report it that way? Of course not. The amazing thing is they love that phrase, bloodbath. They use it themselves a lot for a lot of things.
This week's bloodbath for Democrats.
A bloodbath at the ballot box.
There could be a Republican bloodbath.
They'll talk about a bloodbath.
It's a bloodbath. I have to talk about you. And
It's going to be a bloodbath all day long.
Is in for a bloodbath.
Hasn't been a bloodbath on the way down. Donald Trump, bloodbath. Be a bloodbath.
Predicted to be a bloodbath.
May not be the bloodbath.
It would be a bloodbath.
More of a bloodbath.
It's going to be a bloodbath.
But of course, when Donald Trump says it, he's obviously talking about literal bloodshed and civil war in the streets, and this is a dog whistle to the MAGA people. Do you understand how much they hate you? But this one is really backlashing on them big time and backfiring, even though Morning Schmuck and his pole dancing gentleman's club wannabe nasty wife Mika Brzezinski and Peppermint Patty, who used to be, the presser for Joe Biden until she handed it off to the Black Shirley Temple. They can all be on the same talking points and trying to spin the same narrative. This is what Donald Trump was saying. This is what Donald Trump was saying. This is what Donald Trump was saying. The American people aren't buying it anymore. And even people on the left understand. The American people aren't buying it anymore. Sagar Enjeti and Crystal Ball over at Breaking Points had a bit of tough love, hard luck news for liberals, hoping that indictments, court hearings, and the threat of bloodbath would keep people from voting for Donald Trump.
And I do think that perhaps Democrats are starting to reckon with the fact that these prosecutions are not going to save them. They're not going to be the silver bullet that perhaps some of them may have imagined, that they're going to have to actually defeat Donald Trump. And so they're seizing on bloodbath comments and whatnot to try to make that case.
Let me tell you, Dems, bloodbaths and legal, it ain't going to save you.
Did you catch what they said there? Yeah, you guys are going to have to actually figure out how to beat him. How to actually beat him at the polls. You're going to have to actually have policies that people want to vote for. All these things that you keep doing to try to take him out aren't working. Bum, ba-dum, bum. Hey, I think somebody who looks a lot like me, thinks a lot like me, talks a lot like me, is me, said a year ago, and I've been saying it every once in a while since then, bringing a little theology into this, the curse causeless shall not come. That God has a way of taking the very gallows that an enemy erects to hang you and hanging them with it. And this is exactly what we are watching happen before our very eyes. Boom, baby, boom. And no place else but right here can you get this absolute rant, rave, and flawless reasoning.